Welcome to Brainscape's WSET 3 video on sweet wines. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Nicole.
And today we're going to discuss how to tell the difference between a wine that has botrytis and one that doesn't have botrytis, especially if you're presented with a sweet wine on the tasting portion of your exam. The first thing that will help you is understanding theory. If you know the laws, regulations, and styles of testable wines, you are ahead of the game. Be sure to sign up for Brainscape's WSET 3 certified class and dig into theory.
The first thing you want to determine when you're tasting sweet wines is whether or not it has botrytis. Because once you do that, your wine world becomes a lot smaller. The Botrytis wines covered in your book include Sauternes, Coteaux du Léon, Trochenbeerenhaus Leysa, Tokay Ossau, and SGN from Alsace.
And the wines without botrytis covered in the book are Jurançon, Muscat de Baume de Venise, Rutherglen Muscat, Vinsanto, and Ice Wine. So the first wine we're tasting today is a 2013 Sauternes. As we look at it, its appearance is definitely gold, and also other observations, tears. That can indicate higher residual sugar. It can also indicate higher alcohol.
On the nose, we can already tell this wine has richness to it. It's honeyed. It has a perceptible sweetness, which we will later confirm on the palate, but already I'm beginning to think like this might be a dessert wine.
Yes, and some of the indicators for botrytis for me include mushroom, saffron, and ginger. All of which I find in this wine.
The quality of fruit on the nose has kind of like a confected or marmalade or jam. There's apricot, nectarine, a bit of stone fruit.
For me, there's also citrus, there's orange, but also a going into your confected note, there is a creamy, pastry creaminess, almost like lemon meringue, orange creme brulee, almond croissant. It's like French bakery in your glass. And on the palate, let's see if there is botrytis in the wine that we can confirm on the palate. Wow.
Yes.
Yes.
It's sweet. It's luscious. It has that exotic quality that we were looking for in botrytis. Ginger, saffron, spiciness, pepper almost.
Yes, almost like a white pepper. There's a floral note in here as well. So those botrytis indicators that we smell on the nose are confirmed on the palate, getting into that mushroomy earthiness, but also that expansiveness, that textural richness that you get does remind me of that French bakery ness of creme brulee, pastry cream, croissant.
Lemon meringue with a brulee. Oh,
Yes. Yes.
so good. Something else of note when we're talking about the palate and that richness, that expansive kind of waxy quality, this is a characteristic of Semillon. Semillon is very susceptible to botrytis, so it makes a lot of sense that we're getting this like luscious feel because this is predominantly Semillon varietal.
And also on the palate, this is full tilt everything. It is pronounced aromatics. It is high acidity. It is full body. It is high alcohol. Sauternes hits all of those notes. So when you match up your botrytis notes along with those structural high calls, you can get to Sauternes pretty easily.
It's a very high quality wine. I can actually still taste it. It's just lingering. There's actually a seriousness to this wine.
For me, this wine is very good. Drink it now, but it can also age. And the quality, very high. Delicious.
We love it.
Love it.
To taste next to our Sauterne and Botrytis dessert wine, we are going to taste a Jurançon. This is a 2014 Vendange Tardive, meaning late harvest. The grapes are left to hang on the vine in a dried style.
Which in French is passerillage, which you will need to know for the exam. The appearance on this Jurançon, this is amber. And other observations? Certainly legs, they are quicker to form and quicker to fall. So for me, that indicates maybe not as much residual sugar, but really not as much alcohol.
Good point. On the nose, this wine is really about the purity of the fruit. You have orchard fruit here and some stone fruit as well. The smell is more of like maybe dried apple, peaches, white fleshy pear.
Maybe a little bit of fruit roll-up, fruit leather.
And pineapple juice. Maybe the canned pineapple juice.
Almost like fruit cocktail in a can, where it's almost like fruit that's in syrup. But as we're talking about wines that see botrytis and wines that don't see botrytis, if you get that on the exam. So if you get this on the exam, you write down your appearance on your tasting note. When you get to the nose, what this lacks indicates to me that it does not have botrytis. I do not smell mushrooms. I don't smell any kind of exotic spice like ginger or saffron. So for me, I'm in that non-botrytized camp on the nose. We'll confirm it on the palate, but already on the nose, not botrytized.
Let's taste it. Yep. Tastes like a 1990s grocery list.
Very much fruit in syrup. Confirming on the palate, this does not have any kind of botrytis because we're not getting mushrooms. And that kind of smoky earthiness almost that mushrooms have. Organic material. It also, again, on the palate, like on the nose, does not have, it lacks those notes of botrytis. Mushroom, saffron, ginger. There is a syrupy sweetness on this, but not like honey that you would also get in botrytis. So we got a honey note on the Sauterne, which we're not getting here. This is much more of a nakedness of fruit, a naked fruitiness of fruit in syrup.
Texturally, I would put this in the scale of dessert wines. I would say maybe ice wine is at the most lean, the most crystalline, and then Vendange Tardive, the Jurançon that we're tasting now, right in the middle, where it has more of a syrupy quality. And then at the very end, we would put the great dessert wines of the world, botrytis wines that have that honeyed, that luxurious, luscious mouthfeel.
So if you were to get something like this on your exam and you go, okay, this does not have botrytis, what is my world of what's testable? So there's Jurançon, there's Muscat de Baume de Venise, which this is not.
Vinsanto.
Ruther Glen Muscat, also, which this is not.
No.
And then what you mentioned, ice wine. This is definitely not ice wine. So while we can try to game the system a little bit, which is not such a bad thing to do because what's testable, it's a little bit of a deductive tasting.
A process of elimination. You
Yes.
gotta be your own detective.
And structurally,
My mouth is still watering.
this acid is high, but If we were to compare it to the Sauterne, again, no botrytis, but also it doesn't quite have that luxurious, rich texture that the Sauterne had. This is still delicious. And the pronouncement of fruit is still quite high, but the alcohol's medium, the acidity's high, and the body is medium. It's not full. In your conclusions, I would put this at good, maybe very good, I think, depending on your situation. Good or very good. I think this is also drinkable now, but could age.
Pair with ambrosia salad. We tasted 2 testable styles of dessert wine, one demonstrating botrytis and one without botrytis.
Remember, you don't have to get the wine right on your exam, but you do have to write a tasting note that supports your conclusion. So, if you conclude that the wine has botrytis, make sure that you include those descriptors: honey,
Ginger,
saffron,
mushroom.
Until next time, get that theory down, keep tasting, and rise to your challenge.